Come at the king, you best not miss.
Shout out to all of my day ones and my stay ones rocking out with us today. And salute to all of the 63% of new subscribers. You know what it is. I mean, you only hit the jackpot. There's nothing but smoke over here. Right? Let me make sure that we have the mic check, mic check. Salute to Brabus. I know I'm not saying it correctly. Those of you who have not subscribed to the show, become members of the show, we have close to 1,000 full-length 3 to 5 hour interviews that you can't see because they are reserved for the members only box. So I think it's what, $2.99 per month to be a member. You have access to 4 years worth of our content. Heat, might I add. But listen, people, I want to rock out with you guys today. We want to talk about something that this has the potential. This has the potential to be our hottest show. It thoroughly does. The whole time that you guys are doing what you do, this is a problem for me. This is a problem for me. So the whole time that you guys are living life and things like that, I'm constantly trying to figure this thing out because this thing is unbelievable. It's unbelievable what we're seeing. It's unbelievable what we're experiencing. It's not really supposed to be doable, even for the fact to men and women to be at each other's throats like this. Give me a second, people. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's not a big deal. We can leave that right there. Let's go, TikTok. Let's go. You know what it is. Kick in, kick in, kick in. Let's go. And we are, okay, I was about to say we're missing an integral piece of but we have it. So listen, what I want to talk about today is something that a lot of you aren't going to be ready for. Because I think people, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not saying men, because men, we never did have the luxury of being told lies and things like that. Your brothers were probably, when mom and dad came to the conclusion it was time to tell the truth about Santa Claus, your brothers were probably told first, and they were told sooner in life than the sisters. Men, we don't get to live a false reality because bad things happen to us. What I want to talk to you guys today about is the penalty box. Shit. No, I got to find that. I want to talk to you guys today about the penalty box. And what I mean by penalty box is I think that there is an epidemic proportion. Well, actually, I know there is. I think that there's an epidemic proportion of women who believe, listen, did you guys know that the things that we do, that's energy that we threw out there? The things that we do, we have to pay for that stuff later on. And I think women are living a life to where, I don't know what to say. I think women are living a life that doesn't really exist, that makes it seem like there are no repercussions for the things wrong that we do. Give me a second, people. I got to find something for you guys. I'm not going to do this because this would ruin the show, but I want you guys to understand the woman that I was debating recently, right? She asked, are you saying when women make mistakes and then evolve from those mistakes, they don't get to evolve? Yes, that's what it does. It's called a repercussion. It's called a repercussion. You know what? I wasn't even planning to do this, but we're going to do this. I want to look up the dictionary for the word repercussion. Okay, the dictionary definition for repercussion, listen to me. Repercussions are the indirect or unintended consequences of an action, a decision, or an event. Imagine this. Imagine a world like this. Imagine a world where we really did get paid back 5 minutes later for the bad decisions that we make. What about the people who have gotten trains ran on them? Right? See, the reason I'm not throwing men into that, because it does seem like men get paid pretty fast. It does. Our punishments don't get prolonged too often. I'm not saying they never get prolonged, but usually when men, we see blood when we make bad decisions. But let me say this. Imagine a world where all of the things that we know are terrible things to do, that when women decided to do them, letting men that they met at the club tonight nut inside of them, the repercussion arrives 5 minutes later. See, that's what women don't understand that they're dealing with right now. Women don't understand that they're dealing with the repercussions of past decisions that they've made. I call it the penalty box. That woman said, so, and I get what she was saying. She said, so are you saying that when women make mistakes when they're younger or whatever, and then I evolve from those mistakes, I don't get to evolve? You can evolve, but you still have to pay for that mistake. Sometimes with your life. Sometimes with your life. You guys are moving around society like you're foreign to the concept of repercussions. Why do you guys think that we've been on this podcast after podcast after podcast, pleading with you women to not do some of the things that we saw you doing, because we know what the repercussions of doing those things are? This is why men have been all over the place, like practically begging you guys to not do some of the things that we see you doing. Men appear to be more intelligent than women because of men's ability to be logical and see things really as they are. We were forced to develop. God put it in us, but also we were forced to exercise our logic. Because with men and young boys, when we do something, the repercussion typically comes back fairly quick. Whoopings, which young ladies are shielded from. We are taught to look at life from a realistic standpoint very early on. We see the things, to be able to see the things right in front of them and be able to break them down with our own version of common sense, which is logic. Men can put puzzle pieces together inside their head that give them a keen ability to almost see the future. Right? Men move throughout life by the premise, if I do this, what is likely the outcome to be? Historically, what is likely the outcome to be when people usually do this thing? Is there any information that will tell me what usually happens to people when they do this thing that I'm about to do right now? That's how men move throughout life. That's how men think. When we saw you guys having multiple children by multiple different men, we knew you would be banished to the realm of the unlikely wives. Yes, there is a realm called the unlikely wives. Right? Give me a second. Some of my people down there rocking with us ASAP. Who is that? There she goes. Listen, shout out to Messy Mashawn down here in the building. Listen, I want to say this. Listen, I don't I've always had a social media manager and things like that most of the time. So there's certain things that I've never worked with. I saw mentions, and I saw that this woman did a review of the show that we did with Snow, So Sophisticated. I don't think I have ever in my life. You guys know I pride myself in being very impartial. This woman dissected that whole clip. I don't even want to admit this, in a way that was better than my original interview. Listen, so shout out to her. You guys go by and check her channel out. Messy Michonne Live. Right there, you guys see it up at the thing. Listen, from what I saw, I'm going to be checking out a lot more of her content. This is a very impartial woman, seriously. That's very rare. Shout out to my girl Ruth in the booth down here rocking out with us. Let me see something. Shout out to Hometown down there in the building. Family. Listen, Barbara said your sins will find you. And I think that we're living in a time where people don't believe that. I think that we're living in that type of time. Men get to experience repercussions like right away. We don't get shielded from it. We don't get, when we fall off the bicycle, there is no, oh, get up, let mommy kiss your kneecap. No, hey, boy, stop all that damn crying and get back on that bike. We don't get to live in the delusion that women and girls get to live in. I'm going to say this. When men see things, that's how we see them. That's how we think. And when we saw you guys out there, men can put puzzle pieces together that pretty much tell us what the end result of something is with a high level of accuracy. Right? When we saw you guys out there having multiple children by multiple men, we knew you would be banished to the realm of the unlikely wives. Men are extremely territorial. And the closest that I could get to getting you guys to understand that is that since the beginning of time, men have been programmed to be willing to step in front of a bullet for his woman. It is autopilot. Most men aren't going to slip up in that area. Most men aren't going to take off running when they're walking down the street with their woman and danger approaches. Most men are going to put themselves in harm's way and just like autopilot, use their arm to push their woman behind them. You guys know that I'm not lying. You know that I'm not lying. Most men since the beginning of time have been programmed to be willing to give their life up for their woman. And they've done it since the beginning time. Many of men have lost their lives because of oncoming danger approaching him and his woman. This is how territorial men are. Listen, in the Lion Kingdom, when they take over a pride, they take the lives of the young cubs. They don't want any remnants, any legacy of the men that were there previous to them. And I think that this is a good conversation to have because what we're seeing is women trying to operate freely inside of the penalty box. The penalty box is when certain areas of life get exponentially tougher for us because of something that we did prior in that specific area of our life, right? African American women are having such a rough time getting men to care about them in a way that leads to long-term relationships because of the kids. It's the kids. I don't know if it's right or wrong to say it, but when we see a woman who has kids in our heads, she's one of them. And given such a significant number of men are biologically programmed the exact same way, that's why all of the other men in the other states and cities, men act the same towards women with children. I think one of the biggest things is that woman literally yelled that out as if it wasn't the truth. So when women do certain things and this and that, and then later on we evolve, we don't get to evolve from our mistakes. You have to pay for those mistakes. She yelled that out as if it wasn't the truth. Listen, there are things that men are aware of that are not to be done. Because we know that there are severe penalties behind snitching. Men know this. There are severe penalties behind men snitching. Men know that there are severe penalties behind being a robber or a stick-up boy. Men know that in the dope game, in the street game, there are multi-layer penalties and repercussions that come from multiple angles from inside of that game. You have the police trying to get at you. You have robbers and stick-up boys trying to get at you. And what we know is, if we make some of those big bad decisions, we are going to face repercussions that have the ability to change our lives negatively in a severe way for the long term. That's what men know. We know that. And it's very apparent that this young lady was unaware that those same rules apply to women too, but in a different way. The repercussions that women typically bring upon themselves are more of a slow death versus when men make bad decisions, sometimes we lose our lives just like that, right? Or something physical happens. I'm just now starting to understand that despite how many decades we've been telling them about the detriment of being a baby mama, gaining significant amounts of weight, getting a bad reputation, that they were unaware that there are a set of repercussions that have the ability to set your life back for years. Set your life back for some years. And a lot of you are living inside of that right now. A lot of you are living inside of that. Listen, I want to show you guys something. Hey, I didn't even get to do this correctly, but I'm going to do it just like this. I didn't even really get to do this correctly, but I'm going to do it like this. Listen, if anybody tries to, I'm going to copyright that, right? And let's get to it. Come on. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Why aren't you doing what you're supposed to be doing? For those of you who don't know, the topic of tonight's show is X'd out of the game. X'd out of the game. See, women don't know that you can get X. You know what? I'm going to interrupt this just to get this. I'm going to show you guys something that was on some of my content. Someone made there it is right there. There it is right there. That means today is going to be a good show. If I was able to go and get that effortlessly. Let's go. I want to show you guys something. I saw this today on some of my content on TikTok today. I want to show you guys something. This is something that women very, very apparently know nothing about. And this is very unfortunate too. This is very unfortunate because I wouldn't wish this up on my worst enemy. Like, I'm dead serious. I wouldn't wish this up on anybody. I want you guys to see this. It's a very apparent that a couple of people know about this. Check this out. Ladies, did you know that you can be X'd out of the game? Did you know that you could be disqualified from dating, if not forever, for a significant number of years, decades? There are a set of repercussions that have the ability to set your life back years. These repercussions come with a lot of the things that women are known to do. And we're watching you guys do these things. Listen, this brother right here, they were on some of my content. Actually, I don't even know how that got there because I didn't think this was on TikTok. But this brother said, I knew a mixed girl, more white than black. She told me straight up, I have 4 kids now. I'm X'd out of the game. He said she was right too. Look what my response was. That's cold work right here. Because she kept it real. It's over. Irreparable damage. Are you kidding me? Don't do me like this. Irreparable damage. And this is an area where it's very unfortunate that we often see people not acknowledge as real in this world. There is a such thing as irreparable damage. We watch. We observe what's in the future. That's how men move around throughout life. Just like we can observe what's in a woman's future when they start becoming baby mamas. Look around in your family. Look around at your friends. Look around at women not been in long-term relationships in years. And what I mean when I say relationship, my definition of a relationship is he knows your grandmother. She loves him and she's crazy about him, right? And vice versa. Your family members know that you guys are together, or bare minimum, it's common knowledge to public that you guys are in an exclusive relationship. You guys know dozens of people who have not experienced something like that in years. One person that this person has been with for years, you guys don't know of that. Not in many cases. You guys get into situationships with a rotation of men that is just not friends with. It's just pretty much you guys acknowledge it's friends with benefits. Friends with benefits that will never lead to anything serious. And you acknowledge that. There's a large group of you who have been reserved to this space that is known as the penalty box. The penalty box is a place for people who failed at making the right decisions in matters that are very important to life. A lot of people like to say that they have bad luck and things like that. It's not bad luck. You effed up. That's what you're dealing with. You effed up. Oh, the mouse died, so we're going to have to go manual with this thing and do it like this. I want to show you guys something. Actually, I'm not even going to do that yet. When you guys hit the penalty box, listen, as a result of hitting the penalty box, everybody who did this thing or something similar have been relegated for people who share the same circumstances. That's why when you see a group of women about 7 deep, chances are they share similar circumstances. They're most likely all baby mamas and, whatever. Or whatever the core thing is that's taking place in that little camp. You can best believe they mostly share it in common. There's not one woman in a 5-woman group who's just very, very reserved, very respectful, very feminine, but the other ones are the exact opposite. You're not going to see that. A lot of you guys, listen, I want you guys to inhale this and absorb this. The penalty box is a place for people who failed at making the right decisions in matters that are very important to life. And it sets off a chain of action of catastrophes in your life. The only life that you guys have one life, and you guys tread a very thin line of destroying that thing. As a result of making some of these bad decisions, right? Everybody who did this thing or something similar have been pushed in a box with the same people who share the same circumstances, because major bad decisions are accompanied by big catastrophic repercussions. And if you look around in society, you can see the people who have been hit with those major and big catastrophic repercussions. It's like a life setback. You'll see them struggling in areas and things like that. The women who I'm talking about who are in the penalty box, they have been sentenced to being single for years at a time. They have been sentenced to men in society viewing them as not to be taken serious just because there's certain marks that are on you. Most of the time, you'll be overweight. Most of the time, you have multiple children by multiple different men. Most of the time, it'll be associated with the reputation. These women, state per state, city per city, share the same fate. They're single. Men don't take them serious. A man wouldn't be shocked if when he got to get down with her, he wasn't forced to use a condom. This is how society views these women, right? These women go years and years throughout life not being respected as valuable enough to be in a public long-term relationship. We'll come through at 3 a.m., even if you're 290 pounds. We'll come through at 3 a.m. occasionally and bang, 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 daddy, bang, 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 daddy, bang. As harsh as this may sound for me saying this, everything that I'm telling you is true. And it's in the biology of a man. That's why men in Arizona treat single mothers the same that men in Indiana treat them. In order for you to change men's mindset on that, you would have to literally splice the territorial aspect of men's DNA out of them. When we see women with kids, we are forced to look at them like they were somebody else's before they were ours. And men don't like that because contrary to what is popular to say out loud, men view women as their property. Men view women as their property, their belongings. If we didn't, we probably wouldn't even have the ability to take ourselves to a place where we're willing to give our lives for you. Where we're able to take ourselves to a place where we're willing to DIE for you because we view you as a possession of ours that we are supposed to protect. That's how we're able to take ourselves to that place. If we didn't have that, our logical thinking might kick in and we might be like, hold on. I only got one life to hurt. This a huge ass pit bull. What I want to get bit for? If we didn't have that in us, the sense that we are responsible for your well-being, we probably wouldn't even have the ability to DIE for you when the time called for it. Right? We view it as our duty to protect. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing to a place. I think the terrible thing that's going on with women today is you're doing so much damage to yourself. Some of you, you're living inside of the repercussions of bad decisions that you made 15 years ago. Some of you right now, because you have herpes, you are only dateable to a much smaller pool of men options than you had before you got herpes. You see what I'm saying about these life setbacks, these repercussions, the penalty box? It really sets your life back. You guys can make decisions that if God was to give us a bulletin board or something that had the time frames that were associated with the activation and the kick in of certain repercussions, some of you would see that yours came right on time. Some of you didn't get your first outbreak till last week, and you've had herpes for like 3 years. Some of you didn't get your first outbreak until last year. You really think that we don't have to watch the things that we do in this world? Are you crazy? Listen, I can prove it. I can prove it. Check this out. For those of you who have careers right now, check this out. I can show you how to force your paycheck to be bigger this week than it was last week. You work 5 hours longer than you did last week, and you're going to see the repercussions of that in your next check. There are literally things that you can do that will cause a secondary reaction in your life. Listen, check this out. Those of you who love you some poontang. Bang, 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 daddy, bang. Those of you who have went a significant portion of time having sex without condoms, I bet you know what I'm talking about. I bet you know what I'm talking about. There are decisions that you make that because they don't come immediately, I guess you just think that they have an expiration date. That stuff comes back. It comes back. Men, we're able to take ourselves to a place where we're willing to die for you because we view you as our possession of ours, right? Something that we are supposed to take. Check this out. In a woman who has multiple kids by multiple men, it just reeks of she couldn't get it together in life. It reeks of disorganization. It reeks of, what's the word? Chaos. And that doesn't mean that that's a bad person. However, she 100% did fail at building a family. Single mothers can be amazing people. I think the majority of women who I know in life are single mothers, and they mean so much to my life because of how good of people that they are. It doesn't mean she's not a good person. It means she did a lot of something that is similar to a man getting caught selling DURGSs, right? And even though before he went to trial, he changed his life in jail, whenever you talk to him, he knows scriptures off the top of his head. He still got 30 years after he changed. It's the same with that woman who has multiple children by multiple men. She allowed herself to become too many other men's property. And as a result, the universe makes you go years and years without being viewed by any decent men as worthy to be put in a long-term relationship and treated really good. It's the cost of being a baby mama. When you guys agreed to become baby mamas, you basically agreed that you're willing to allow your chances of getting put in a long-term relationship to take a 75% hit. Because that's what typically happens when you become a multi-tier baby mama. Listen, it's harder for a man to view you as his, which is why why all of the perks that men give women come from. That's where all of the perks that we give you come from. Our ability to view you as ours, right? And therefore be responsible for her happiness, which is why we do so many of the things that we do for women that are ours. I gotta see if this will work because this is getting on my nerves. Legend Gaming in the building, rocking out with us. Oh, okay, we're gonna shut this on down. Listen, TikTok, you guys have like 2 minutes to get us up to 5,000 likes, so we're just gonna shut this thing down. That's insane. We don't move like that. So tap that screen, people, or we're just gonna go ahead and shut that down and bring Instagram up here. Poor Poom Poom management, 100%. And there's hell to, listen, the repercussions that come with poor Poom Tang management. You see something? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? There it is. Let's go.
I was married for 5 years, but I was with my husband for 10 years. And I'm going to be honest, I lost a good man because of my mindset of I can compete with a man. Queen vibes, princess treatment. I ain't have to work. I ain't have to do nothing. But my mouth was bad. And I lost a good man. I'm taking that L. I disobeyed every direct order, but I didn't cheat. And I thought like, oh, I'm the perfect wife. I don't cheat. I don't go outside. I don't even get dolled up. But I'm in the house saying, fuck you, suck my dick. Fuck you.
Hey, TikTok, if you guys don't hit that, get those likes up, we're going to go ahead and shut the thing down. Get those likes up. Matter of fact, let me just bring you to Instagram up here.
Fuck your mother.
No. Oh, yeah.
Fuck everybody. And it's man, the kids we got together type shit. That's how mad I get. I up a whole marriage. I had the that every bitch wanted. And I'm
awesome.
sitting here saying that because it eats me up every day. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm an alpha at the end of the day, and that's what me up. He put me in a soft girl era, but I still had the mindset of an alpha.
You know what's crazier about this than anything? You guys have no clue how essential a life partner is going to be. You guys have no clue. You guys have been living in this plushy existence where we don't really see a lot of calamity in America like they do in the Middle East, right? We don't see a ton of calamities. So we start thinking a certain way. We start looking at life like we don't really have any big things to worry about. But what a lot of people are suggesting is a lot of people are about to F around and find out. In a real way. What's it called? Let's go Instagram, because TikTok is definitely tripping. Shout out to Miss Monica over here rocking out with us. Salute. Instagram definitely in the building. But listen, you guys think that we like to just say these things. We don't like to say things and just butcher you guys up. But we can literally see all of the pizzas that you have ordered to your address. I am telling you guys that you can talk to a logical man for about 30 minutes and tell him everything that you did in the last 365 days, and he can pretty much tell you what to expect. I hope there's not one person who disagrees with that. I'm telling you, one of men's greatest advantages over women is we were never fooled with delusion. We were never even tricked into believing that, like I said, we were the first ones. If there's girl and boy, the boy is usually going to be the first one to get told there's not really a Santa Claus. Men and boys experience the harshness of society first, which is why you guys don't even get the same treatment that we do when you're getting pulled over for speeding tickets and things like that. One of men's superpowers there is we were never afforded the luxury of not seeing things for what they really are, because we get hurt. Men get physical repercussions from the bad decisions that we make. We have stuff come back up on us pretty soon, right? And being able to see a lot of these things, like, listen, men, we just know. Actually, just this second, in real time, I'm coming to understand that all of the times that we were shouting from the rooftops, from the mountains, on this podcast, on that podcast, telling women how significant it is, teaching our daughters how bad it is to get pregnant, you guys either thought we were joking or you were down to fuck around and find out. People's lives, their entire lives get set back and messed up, right? Because of decisions that they've made in their lives. You can have 2 children by 2 different men, and instantly, soon as you push that last baby out, the universe puts a sign on your forehead that tells all men, this isn't one of the ones you marry. Trust me. This isn't something that we're gloating about. It's the very reason why we were yelling from top of the hills, going on this podcast, that podcast, making posts all over social media, trying to tell you guys what mistakes not to make. Because we didn't want you to go through that. Men know what comes with making certain bad decisions. And we thought, based on what we were seeing in the behavior that you guys demonstrate and the things that you were doing, we thought that what we knew typically comes as a repercussion when people do the things we've seen you do. We thought that those caliber of repercussions were too heavy for anybody, let alone our women, right? But you viewed it as a fight. When we were telling you guys certain things and ways not to move in society, you guys took it the wrong way. And then got much more adamant about not listening to us when we tell you, don't be letting men smash raw. if it's not some type of relationship, right? It's what we kept telling you guys. Don't become baby mamas because it gets very bad for a woman after she has multiple children by multiple men. A woman who has a child, the universe gives her a little bit of dating grace, right? For not making her mistakes over and over, and she can still get a good man, right? A woman who has one child, a woman who is nice, things like that. But if you have multiple children by multiple men, life will usually be lived alone for years and even decades. Even 2 decades in a row, 3 decades in a row. Some end up dying alone without anybody to share the burdens of life with them and make life easier with them. It's the very reason that we were screaming from the top of the hills, because we were watching you guys play with fire. We were watching. Who better to tell you how men feel about women with other men's children than men? Right? For those of you who would say, but what about the men who got us pregnant? I say it is up to you to create the outcome for your life that you want, right? It is up to you to protect you and let no one compromise the plans and visions that you have for your life. I myself, right, know that there are times in my life where women who were all of that and then some, 2 of them in particularly, they finally caved in. Not at the same time. This was 2 separate times in my life. These were women who I used to just salivate at the mouth about. Where one of them finally caves in at this time. One of the times she lived in a very, very small town, like really small. Like they had 2 little markets, you know what I mean? I drove, these were like Amish. Yeah, this could have been an Amish setting. They still had, they still had the store with the wooden porch and the barrel on the side. So listen, I know of 2 times where these women finally caved in and were going to let me crack. I drove to at least 3 stores. And each of them looked at me like I was crazy. Now, of course, this was years ago. Each of them looked at me like I was crazy when I asked for condoms, right? Because I didn't have any condoms, when I went back, I couldn't crack. Because in my head, I always thought, if I go raw, I'm going to get her pregnant or I'm going to catch a disease, right? And then that scenario of sex isn't worth the risk. There's some areas in my life that I made the bad mistakes. But the universe demands that you make good decisions in big situations that matter a lot in life. The universe demands it. There's a quote that one of my cousins says. He says, shit, cuz you think I stopped selling dope because I wasn't making a lot of money? It was a conscious decision to stop. Right? Based on the repercussions that he was seeing. But with women, nature kicks in. And because no one's around when your emotions and your selfish nature arise, you begin telling yourself all of the things that is beneficial about if you keep the babies, right? I get to write him off on taxes. I get to put him on child support. I get Section 8. I get welfare. Because there's no man, no logical man around when you have this emotional outburst, you get to go ahead and think that thought all the way through to a reality, not knowing that by keeping the kids yourself, you will be pledging yourself to a 2-person job. 1 person pledging to a 2-person job. And because of the wear and tear that 1 person doing the work of 2 people can begin to do, breaking you down over time, psychologically, physically, mentally, other people will be able to see it in your behavior. In some cases, people will be able to remember how much more nice and pleasant of a person that you were before you had those kids. Evolving after mistakes, I'm cool with that, right? I'm cool with evolving after mistakes, but you still have to pay the piper. You can see that in the judicial system. Have you guys ever seen someone who got busted for slanging or something like that, and then they bond out, and over the course of time, they're fighting their case for about 18 months or something like that? They go get a job, and they start changing. When they go to court, they usually still go to prison. And here's the big thing. This is the big thing. How that woman said, we don't get to evolve after we make those mistakes. Yes, you get to evolve, but nonetheless, it's very similar to what I just told you about. Even though that man changed before they sentenced him, they probably still gave him the business.
Dead man! Dead man walking!
They probably still gave him the business. And a lot of you guys who are chronically single for years, you don't even know that that's why. You don't know that that's why. You prefer to say men ain't shit, when the real truth is, because of the decisions that you have made, the universe has capped your dating value to where you only have access to men who are lower quality men. Whatever it was inside of you that assisted you in making the decision to become a multi-tier baby mama, that thing is alive in you in other areas of your life, and other people can see it. A lot of times you're the person who can't see it. You don't see this behavior that you've taken on. Other people can see it, but you can't see it. But if your decision-making process is bad enough to allow 2 or more men to get you pregnant, you can best believe that you're weak in that area in other pockets of your life, and you have done damage in other pockets of your life with that same decision-making process. And people can see it. You're probably someone who will have casual sex, things like that. You're probably someone, basically we'll sum it up like this. You're probably someone who doesn't operate like the wives that you've seen in your family. You're probably one of those. You'll end up as one of those women who, because of that stain on you, your behavior, other people can see it, and they choose not to select you to be a life partner with. This is what's happening to you guys, and you don't know it. People are seeing the bad decisions that you've made in your past on you, stuck to you right now in your present day life. Not having a life partner. Having to deal with all of the complex elements of life yourself has broken many of women who used to be the most polite, the most respectful, and feminine women, and turned them into something that now looks bitter, unpleasant to be around, and somewhat angry. And all of this has divided you from men who typically take care of women. Now you're stuck taking care of tackling the toughest times life brings our way alone. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Tackling the toughest times that life brings our way alone, it's that powerful. It's powerful enough to alter someone's personality and complicate their life. And yet you people are signing up to situations to where you have to take on life's burdens and toughest moments alone in the later years of your life, where arthritis is kicking in, right? Where your immune system has gotten weakened, where sickness has come up on us, right? There won't be a man in this chat who won't think, there won't be a woman in this chat who won't think about this podcast when that dark moment rises up in her world and starts making life 3 times more complicated. Because that's what those bad decisions do. Living inside of the penalty box. A mass number of African American, listen, we might as well get to this. We might as well get to it and show you what I'm talking about, opposed to let you hear me.
It comes in waves. Most of the time, I'm okay. And then it comes and hits me like nobody's business. And honestly, I've been feeling like this a lot lately. It's love. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing it myself.
I'm 30. I quit at being independent. I don't want to do this shit no more. This shit is draining. I'm so ready to have a man come into my life and take care of me. My tires popped. 2 of my tires popped. And I'm sitting in my car because I don't know what the fuck to do. Obviously, I know what the fuck to do, but I don't want to do this shit no more. Like, I'm ready to have someone come into my life and take care of me. This shit is so fucking draining. This independent life, like, I don't want to do this shit no more.
It is draining. These people are taking on the job description of 2 people, a job description that calls for the power of 2 people. You're taking all on by yourself, and in some cases, 3 people. That would F anybody up, physically and mentally. But you guys, selfish nature kicks in, and it makes you think that by saying, I want sole custody of the kids, right? You guys think that you're stacking leverage up to yourself because you've heard a lot of other goofy bimbos say, girl, I get child support, I get food stamps and this and that. But you don't know. Real work has to be done in taking care of kids. A mass number of African-American women know what I'm talking about for sure. They know for a fact that what I'm up here saying is not far-fetched because they've been living inside of the penalty box for 15 years now. When she left her man, she was never able to do better because now she jumped back out there on the dating highway as a baby mama and a woman who has been in multiple relationships and a woman who is just out there. And this begins the journey of living life alone, having to pay 100% of your bills and life expenses alone, right? When some people are only having, some women get to retain their femininity because they don't have to work overtime in order to pay all of their bills because they have help. Never mind. Let's go.
I quit because every time something happens, I always have to figure shit out on my own. And I don't want to do that shit anymore.
First of all, women all over the world, listen to me. Stop having babies with black men.
Y'all know how females be saying, we don't need no man. I don't need no man for nothing. Y'all driving around here in brakes looking like this. Let me show you the other side. Y'all better get y'all man and sit y'all ass down.
I post my naked body online to
like
put it short
fully
and
naked.
Yes.
Are you fulfilled doing this?
Absolutely not. No, it has made me like extremely depressed.
Well,
Emotional, damn it.
how much longer do you want to do this for?
I would love to stop now.
What's wrong with women with kids?
What's wrong with little Jimmy with freckles and the glasses?
He's not my type.
Not my type.
Gotcha, bitch. How old are you?
53.
At your age, have you found that dating has become
Are largely more fertile, not always, but largely.
They pretty much go for the younger woman.
If you are single and you
And the glasses.
He's not my type.
Not my type.
Gotcha, bitch. How old are you?
53.
At your age, have you found that dating has become easier or harder for you?
Absolutely harder.
50-year-old men, are they going for women in their age category or younger women?
They want women in their category, but they pretty much go for the younger woman.
if you
You hear how she forced herself to believe that lie? Well, they want older women, but they're going for younger women. So wouldn't it be safe to assume that what they're going after is what they want?
are single and you are in the dating marketplace at that time, when that happens, say you're 37, 36, 38, 40, whatever it may be, and you are still on the hunt for that man, and you hit the wall and you can see in your face that you are no longer the face that you were at whether it was 30 or 35 or 25, whatever it is, you are going to be panicked, because now you know that you are going to compete with women who are younger, who are largely more fertile, not always, but largely speaking, yes, who have that youthfulness to them.
When you guys go out, who usually pays for the dates?
Do you even have to ask?
So I'm assuming it would be him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a safe assumption, unless you knew Stacy here. Yes. Very confident, demanding. So she makes me pay for everything. Yes, you're right.
Come on now, dog.
Under what circumstances do you cover the bill?
What I'm telling you guys, this is something detrimental that you guys are playing with. You guys are playing with your whole life. And I'm going to say this again. There's a mass number of African-American women who know for a fact that what I'm up here saying, it's not far-fetched, because they've been living inside of the penalty box for decades. Some of your moms, when she left her man, was never able to do better. Right? Because she jumped back out there on the dating highway. You guys know what it is. You see that wreckage out there. She jumped back out there on the dating highway as a baby mama, a woman who has been in multiple relationships, a woman who is just out there, and that begins her journey of living life alone, having to pay 100% of all of her expenses, right? And other people aren't living like that because their man takes up the stress of life in the other pockets that would have broken her back had she had to tackle all of it alone. Every fear, every doubt, and every problem that comes our way in life, you will be left to deal with yours alone. Bare minimum, you'll have to put yourself in a predicament to where you'll have to reach out to family members who they themselves are just barely trying to get by in life. This is why we look at you guys and we really just shake our heads, because it's crazy to us that we can see point blank range how your lives are going to turn out. Ain't nothing that we can say or do to show you what we as logical men see down the road for you, because of certain things that you're doing right now, because of certain bad dating decisions that you made. Because of all of this and your inability to listen to us when we're trying to warn you, and your inability to see it for yourself, you guys can't even prepare for what's coming. Because you won't acknowledge that you've even done anything that is going to bring repercussions in your future. A lot of you have done all of the things in your life that prevent a man who has the abilities to make life easier for a woman look at you like you're not his type based on the things that you've done. When you lose access to the caliber of men that make women's lives easier in their older years, you lose access to an easier life in your older years. Simply means in your life, listen, it simply means in your older years, your life is likely not to be easier in their older years as other people who chose to team up with a partner against life when it comes knocking and kicking at doors. Even for those of you who are relying on money that you've saved up, life is going to get a lot more complicated than how much money you ladies have saved up in the next couple of years. Safety is going to be a concern and issue. Ingenuity is going to be an issue and a high-level problem. Problem-solving skills are going to continue to be needed at an exponential rate. Sheer brute strength is going to be needed. And the women who don't have access to those things when they need them things the most, they will regret it instantly. They'll regret it instantly. Shout out to Latarsha over here rocking out with us. Oh, we're doing bad. Listen, I need you guys over here on YouTube to hit that thumbs up button. Let everybody know that we're rocking and we're rolling. I don't want to start an intermission, but I need you guys to hit that thumbs up button on YouTube. Get our likes up. She said, women now don't date for marriage. And I promise you they're going to regret it. I'm a man. I'm well-to-do for myself in all situations. Like, I can defend, and I am not crazy. And I'm not even going to get into that. She said, I'm 50 years old. She said, I'm 50, always been married, 4 children and 8 grandchildren. That's my girl. Yeah, she said, women are so quick to leave. I'm going to say they don't want to negotiate, and I am a woman. I am married twice. They don't. That's the crazy part. It realistically looks like women don't want to even negotiate. Like, no, I say it my way, or there's no. That's crazy. You can't do that in anything, pretty much. And that's why you guys are suffering out there on the catastrophic level. We see it with our eyes, what you're going through. You guys are getting trains ran on you. You guys are catching STDs at an alarming rate. It's crazy. Shout out to my brother over here, Forever Alir. The Cash App, let me put the Cash App down here. I appreciate the love. But yeah, listen, you guys don't have the vision that men have. Men see things taking place in your lives that we know are going to come with a catastrophic result. We know it. For those of my Instagram family, if you want to support the show, you see the pin, Cash App, The Real Stacey Prince. I appreciate the love and support. Or the PayPal. Zero fucks definitely in this situation. Rocking out with us. He said women will always need men. They don't want to admit it. I think that I really don't even want to delve off into that, because that is a part that still, I don't know what to say. Like, how can women hate so much the very thing that gave them the life that is as comfortable as is? When I hear women condemning and even screaming hateful innuendos towards the patriarchy, I don't understand it. If I'm not mistaken, the patriarchy is responsible for that amazing vehicle that you're driving in when it's 90 degrees outside and you can't feel a lick of the heat. It's actually 10 degrees in your car. Right? I just don't know what to say. I'd actually like to ask a woman, how can you hate the patriarchy like that? And the patriarchy said, okay, they deserve rights to vote. Okay, they deserve rights to work. Okay, they deserve it. Oh, I just answered my own question. I told you guys this several times. What I have come to understand after 4 years of this show is if you pay attention to the things that women ask for, they ask for it in a perfect manner. Like, they want perfection. They want a world where, listen. These women will tell you out of their mouth that they want a man who is 6 foot taller, amazing in bed, pipe hanging down to the thigh, right? Handsome, money together, masculine, doesn't cheat. You see how stupid that shit sounds? You just described a damn Greek god. And for those of you who are looking at me like all of that wasn't asking too much, turbulence, people. How many of you have it? Give me a thumbs up if you have everything that I just named right now. Give me a thumbs up if you have a man who is 6 foot or above. Money on point. Handsome. Masculine. Doesn't cheat. Give me a thumbs up. None of you have that. None of you have that. It's pretty much a 10. Just like most men have never in their lives saw a 10. We've saw things where a woman move us a certain way and even some cases cause us to take a deep exhale. But 10 is a metaphor for perfection. And the part that we think is the craziest is look at the women who ask for these amazing men. That's why we think you guys are crazy. It's why we think you guys are crazy. It's like someone who gets food stamps every morning stopping and saying, hey, can you guys point me in the direction of the nearest Hermes store or the nearest Gucci store? That's crazy. But there's something that's making them think. I'm going to get off of that. I'm going to get off of that. Kelly said, there aren't any. There's not. Listen, there are a great deal of times where you can find something that your man doesn't do that good that makes you love him more. See, but you guys really want perfection, and it is the selfish nature of a woman. It's crazy to us. A lot of you will not have access to all of the most important attributes of a man when you need it the most. Because you thought you had plenty of time to play around, and you don't. There's women down there in these comments right now who regret blowing a relationship right now. You guys think that the things that I'm talking about, oh, you will regret, oh, you will regret, oh, you will regret. Some of the women are looking at like, I'm only 30 years old. I got plenty of time for that. But right down there in those comments right next to you is a 40-year-old who's going through the blues of everything I'm up here saying. There's women down in those comments right now who regret it. And they have to tell lies to themselves and go to channels that tell women everything is going to be all right, just to keep from occasionally getting sad and getting depressed when they think about their current reality. A lot of these women know very well that they're in trouble. It takes an utter fool to not know that you're going to encounter some trouble when you separate yourself from the core element that God designed you to be connected to. Remove an engine away from a car. Remove a light bulb from a socket. Remove a battery from a car. Everything that gets disconnected from its core element will begin to malfunction. And what do you see when you look out in society today? Does it look like the women are functioning properly, or does it look like they're malfunctioning? Does it look like the women out there are functioning properly, or does it look like they're malfunctioning? We'll ask them.
I just came to the realization that, like, if you're 40 years old, you're never gonna find love. Like, oh my God. Sorry, I woke up like really, really emotional because I was married for, oh my God, I need to stop.
Look at this woman. This woman is a wreck. This woman is a wreck. You guys think life is a game, and it's not. When you are in that hospital at your doctor's appointment and you're by yourself when he tells you that they found cancer in your blood, and there's nobody sitting next to you to say, I don't give a damn what he said. I'm going to exhaust my entire 401k. We're going to fight this. So you might listen. All of that, you can get that off of your face right now. We're going to whoop this. Measure how good it would make an individual feel to hear somebody encouraging him like that. Measure how good that will feel. And then remove that and leave with the opposite. Measure how bad it will feel to not have somebody go through that with you.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
F around and find out.
I was married for over 20 years, and like, I was so used to being a wife. Like, I loved being married, you know? Like, I love being a wife. I love having like that one person I love coming home to and like venting all my to. And now it's like,
she's talking about just the simple things. She's talking about, I just love to have somebody to come home to. Like, listen, let's be honest. Do you know how dope it is just to start a bull crap conversation with somebody, or go over there and do something that you know irritates him when you play with his ears like that? Opposed to getting off work and walking into the stale environment of a lonely house, where the air even feels crisp in there, where you can almost hear an echo, and you know that it is perpetual. It's not like there's going to be an interruption of that quietness in your house in about 30 minutes. No, this is your lifestyle. That's why you have that dog. Most of these women who are single have these dogs because of what being single is doing to them. You're only a human. You can't even lie to us. If men get lonely, then you think we're ignorant and we don't believe that it hits you 2 times as hard? So hold on. For those of you who think that I don't know what I'm talking about, just listen to her.
It comes in waves. Most of the time, I'm okay. And then it comes and hits me like nobody's business. And honestly, I've been feeling like this a lot lately.
I just came to the realization.
We're not crazy. It's crazy that in order to compete with us for the number 1 spot, the shot caller, the head of the house, you would rather continue to hold on to that foolish feminism ideology, poke your chest out, say all of the things that you think are a disrespect to men, and still take your funky ass to a lonely house by yourself. Lord Jehovah, please forgive me for cursing.
That like, if you're 40 years old, you're never gonna find love. Like, oh my God. Sorry, I woke up like really, really emotional because
I just saw somebody I just tried to bring up. I think her name was Aramet or something like that. Hit the button again. Whoever that was that just came up here, hit the button again. I just barely missed you. Request to come up again. Over here on TikTok. Shout out to my girl Short Petite Love in this situation. Been rocking out with me for some time. Look at this little goofball here. Come on up, Bree. Stop being so childish. You always stay down in the comments, and it makes people think that you're weird. At least when you come up, we believe that you kind of believe the goofball stuff that you say. You sit down there in those comments all the time and just spew out foolishness that can be debunked with a person's not even thinking hard. Women don't care about being lonely. There's worse things in the world. Do you know one of the things that's bad about DEATH? The lonely aspect of it. Not being with your loved ones anymore. So yeah, there are worse things, but they are the absolute worst things, which means being lonely is very much so up there with the worst things. Why do you think people are fighting tooth and nail to not be lonely? Why do you think a significant number of you are on your phones at home? No one wants to be lonely. Stop being foolish. Listen, Bree, what's wrong with you? It's very unfortunate that you can exist in the capacity that you do. It's very, very unfortunate. If you were my daughter, I'd be most ashamed that you're out here. All of the abilities and opportunities that we have to succeed and do great things, you constantly come to these lives and say ignorant things that everybody who's down there with you know do not meet the bar of logic. It's crazy. Insane. Miss Jules in the building. Yet here's a woman up here in tears telling you she is lonely. That's how crazy this girl is.
I was married for, oh my God, I need to stop. I
Listen.
was married for over 20 years. And
Hold on. Turbulence, people. For those of you not familiar with the show, when you hear that, I'm probably about to rock the boat a little bit. We all know this is an above average looking attractive woman, and even she's singing the blues. This woman looks better than the majority of the women. She's not average looking. The average person is average looking. She's above average looking. And there will be some people who, but you're lying. She can date men at a more successful rate than the average woman can. And she's up here singing the blues.
I was so used to being a wife. Like, I loved being married, you know? Like, I love being a wife. I love having, like, that one person I love.
Listen, there's one down there that says, what are the men lying about now? And that lets you know their mindset. They don't even care if we're up here saying things that and making good points and dispensing very accurate knowledge and education. They don't care about that. They come to these lives with the mindset of combat and engagement. What are the men lying about now? How come you couldn't come and listen and see if there was anything tangible or beneficial about the information that could have benefited your life some way? And this is how we know. You guys really need to stop talking so much because it tells us how you think. And then we are forced to form opinions about you based on the things that you tell us about you. And that doesn't usually turn out well.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Of course that was a black woman. Of course she was black. Let's go.
Coming home to and, like, venting all my to. And now it's like, yeah, you date people and, like, sparks fly. And then it's just like, oh, I found better, you know?
This is another classic case of a woman who had a loyal husband, a stable home, and 20 years of shared history, and still said, I'm bored. So she left. Why? Because the spark was gone. Ma'am, it's a marriage, not a fireworks display.
And this was what I told you guys earlier. From 4 years of being up here talking to women, you know what the conclusion I've come to? We listen to them when I ask women, what do you want in a relationship? The things that we hear them say, we are like, what? How do you plan on pulling that off? Beautiful women can't get what you guys are asking for. Why do you think men settle sometimes for women with children? Because we're realistic. I might know that I'm somewhat shy. I might know that I'm not as confident as really attractive women like in men. I might know that I don't really have as much money as really attractive women like in men. So, you know, yeah, she's got 1 or 2 kids, I guess all you know. But you guys don't do that. You guys are every bit of 225 pounds, born average looking, 2 children by 2 different men, body count through the roof. And you're still talking about, I don't know why Michael B. Jordan won't answer my DMs. I done been in his Are you crazy? And this is why I'm always adamant about saying that women need men more than what they think they do. You need men to be sitting right next to you when one of those emotional ideas pops up in your head, and a man can say, babe, you know that's kind of crazy, right? Because if a man's not sitting there, or some logical person you respect isn't sitting there to talk you out of that emotional thought that you just had, a woman will try to execute that thought. She'll even put some of her own money behind it or something like that. That's why you saw so many women running around here trying to support Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris wasn't even that intelligent. I was trying my best to be impartial with Kamala Harris. But it's like when they would ask her questions, what do you plan on doing about making sure that the economy is secure and structured enough for people who have lost some of their benefits? I'm so glad you asked. I'm so glad you asked. So my grandmother, she used to bake these cookies, right? She used to bake these cookies, and they were like nobody's business. They were like nobody's business. And my grandfather used to love those cookies. Okay. Next question. And women ate that stuff, but we couldn't believe it. Oh, hold on. For those who might say that I'm lying, because we know I don't get up here and just say, this guy is terrible.
Experiencing record inflation, the worst in 30 years, way beyond expectations. OPEC didn't increase oil production. Can you tell us a little bit about how you would prevent the new spending in your Build Back Better agenda from exacerbating the problem? And also, what else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up.
Duh.
And families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more.
This will never get old. This is probably why I won't never delete this off of my laptop. Listen, they asked her what she planned on doing about inflation, and she said, inflation exists. Next question. She said, prices have gone up. Yeah, that's what inflation is.
Gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only...
Listen, and that's what people in America have found. If you put lots of money behind certain campaigns, that women hold dear to their heart, you can get them to spend endless amounts of money. But guess who it's not as effective on? Married women. When you guys should have been offended that she associated you guys with artists who said wet ass Pussy, you guys don't know, but when she hired somebody like that, or Meg Thee Stallion hired them, she was associating and identifying that person with you, trying to establish a connection. Basically, she was saying that's what she thought of you. And because you were so emotionally charged on what your agenda was, you didn't even know it was time to take that offensive. And this is why you guys need, I don't know. There's something that's absolutely even keeping a lot of women from being able to see how out of pocket women are in society. Like, if you guys could really stop and be honest for real and address the conversation from the perspective of how the damage that we're seeing be done will affect your children after you're gone, you would probably have to be honest and tell the truth and say things like, listen, oh, hell, let's go. Turbulence, people. There is no way in hell that women should be allowed to vote as it pertains to matters that affect mass groups of people. There's no way at all. Do you guys know how easy it is to get a woman's vote? You market her. They have so much research on this. Listen, did you guys know? Think about this. Is there even one fool down there who believes that feminism and the feminism movement is in any way at all beneficial to the patriarchy and the most powerful men who run the world? They are against men for the most part, right? So why do you think the most powerful people in the world would allow the feminism movement to even continue on before they dismantled it in the first month? Because they found out if you empower women, if you give women the ability to generate large sums of money, you can do marketing and ad campaigns and get those same women to pour significant amounts of money from their this week's check right back into the economy. There's nothing else to the most powerful group of men in America that would be beneficial for them to allow the feminism movement and the empowerment of women to continue to progress. There's no other benefit to men except for they turn women into slaves, kind of. You guys went from a scenario of being able to work, being able to stay at home and things like that. Now, that's not for every woman. Some women are born ambitious, I guess, right? So that's not for every woman. But most of the ambitious women, look at their lives. Look at the CEOs and things like that. And I'm not saying love is everything. Maybe love is not for everybody, but we do see what reverse engineer tells us about operating in the exact opposite of the way God ordained for us to operate. Start having less kids. Start having less families. As a result of having less families, you no longer see certain communities. You no longer have a support system. There is nothing good about the core elements of the feminism movement. Do you know how we know? Where's it at? Let me see if I can pull it up. There's a large number of white women who used to be the core elements of a lot of the feminist campaigns, movements, who have renounced it. Found out it didn't work. Let me see if I can find this. Is that it? I'm not even going to go there. We'll just do this.
But is on a daily level something that is a heavyweight.
I just came to the realization that, and like those highlight reels, follower that messaged again, and
Met some new guy who gave her butterflies, which, let's be honest,
I was talking to my ex again, and there was a TikTok, I had a fan on here, a TikTok follower that messaged me, and she said, hey, I started talking to this guy, and I noticed on his Instagram, like those highlight reels, you were in one of his highlight reels.
Hey, I don't
like,
want to
you guys
hear
made
all
a
that
TikTok
crap
together. I think I'm just more sad about the fact that, like, it's impossible. It's impossible to find someone that you will 100% trust. And part of it has to do with me too, because
it's a very unfortunate scenario. It's a very unfortunate scenario because women have done so much damage to themselves to where now they're at the repercussion stage. A lot of women are past the stage where we can have the discussion and tell them how to prevent becoming a baby mama and doing all this, having a high body count, wearing your body, your mentality, putting all of the wear and tear on your mind, your body, and your soul from all of the endless partying and drinking and smoking and having sex. You know what? I can't look it up on either of the phones. I want to see what the definition of this is. I want to see what the definition. What the hell just happened? Okay, let's go. The definition of the word wear. There it goes. In terms of durability, wear refers to the gradual impairment or reduction of an item's quality due to friction or continuous use. This is most commonly seen in the phrase wear and tear, which refers to the normal depreciation a product experiences over its lifespan. You really think you don't have wear on you? Multiples of men have been on top of you and inside of you. You have had children for multiple men, right? And men have wear on them too. We don't care. Our wear is our assignment from God. We're supposed to do all of the things that put wear on us, right? Where do you think sledgehammers and all these things? Yes. We're supposed to wear our muscles and things like that. Whereas you, on the other hand, you are supposed to remain princess. You were supposed to remain valuable. You were supposed to remain something that someone could just look at, and the bad mood that they were in, they're no longer in it because they saw you sitting over there like some type of still picture of a flower. You guys have turned into smaller versions of us. Tough. Where's that at? Where's that at? If that's on here, I'm gonna pull that right now. Where is that at? This is the perfect opportunity to show this. And I know I didn't download it. I'm sick with myself. Let me see if it's on here. Shout out to Prime. Yeah, you know what? Too Tall just made a crazy point, to be honest. It's crazy because men understand it, but this show is 4 years old and there's been a multitude of people up here. This is a true statement. They believe that they don't depreciate. Ain't that something?
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Listen, people, we're going to go on a brief intermission. Where are my show supporters at? We are doing bad over here for the show support. Those of you who rock with the show, you think, you know what I mean? The information, this is a cool place to rock after work. Show love to the show. It's at the bottom of the screen. The Real Stacey Prince on PayPal, YouTube, or you can hit the Cash App. Let's go. Somebody keep the show going. Let's get this thing going, people. Show love to the show, like the show shows love to you. I need 3 people to get us closer to our nightly goal. $35 away from our nightly show goal, people. If you rock with the show, show love with it. girl Jules over here setting it off, rocking out with us. With the cash app, my girl. We are $25 short of our nightly show goal, people. If this the hottest show online, let us know. We are $25 short of our nightly show goal. Breaking back in the building. Shout out to my brother Reg over here rocking out with us. I appreciate the love, brother. We are $20 short of our nightly show goal. I appreciate my day ones and my stay ones for keeping us going. Listen, shout out to my girl Jules over here dropping the bomb for the night. $20 cash app. Listen, I want to say this. It's very, 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 very unfortunate. I could almost do a whole nother show about this. I guess I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's very, very unfortunate, people. Listen to me. It's very, very unfortunate that women are blind to the things that are usually the repercussions that are usually associated with making bad dating decisions. It wouldn't be so bad if they were blind to the things that typically come, but there's a guy that they'll listen to. He can use his logic on it and say, well, you know, if you do this. No, not only are they blind to it, but refuse to accept the information from the people who can see it. That is crazy. It means you can't avoid it. Operating like that will prevent you not only from being able to will not only prevent you from being able to avoid making that mistake, but it will also prevent you from being able to avoid experiencing the repercussions of that bad decision. You can't tell you nothing and nobody else can tell you nothing. That's crazy work. I just almost said this. I just almost said a person like that will be doomed. And instantly, what we see taking place in the black community surfaced in my head. Our women are not functioning correctly, and they won't listen to the men tell them that they're not functioning correctly. What happens out of something like that? It means pretty much you have to hit the brick wall. And that's what a lot of them are doing. Look at them. They're perpetually single. For years. You guys know I'm not lying. You guys have sisters. You have cousins. These people are 50 years old, and it's been years since. You don't even remember when the last time you saw her. A lot of you don't even have uncles. Your uncle so-and-so, when he died, she wasn't able to rebound and remarry after then because of the caliber of individual that she is and the things that she's done. But your uncle so-and-so, he was not, I'm not going to say he was willing to accept it. He's the reason she had a couple of kids, right? So she was saved from the brutality of the dating highway because the man who made her a multi-tier baby mama, there was already a man that if she gained weight, he was already cool with who she is. But once that man is gone and she goes back out on the dating highway, a woman with a couple of kids, a woman who's overweight, other men who have better options aren't going to select her to deal with that. They're not going to select her. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing these women are perpetually single. Do you know how bad that is? Listen, there's research that suggests, what's the number? I believe that we cross paths with roughly 50,000 people just in our everyday lives as we walk throughout society. Let's say that 25,000 of them are men, right? out of crossing paths, let's say 20, because there's typically that much more women than there are men. Let's say out of 20 crossing paths with 20,000 men in 365 days, you weren't able to get any of those men to see anything special enough about you to get them to want you all to themselves? You've crossed paths with 20,000 men, and there was nothing about you that compelled any of them to want to latch on to you for life, protect you, and provide for you. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. I personally think this. I personally think women simply aren't going to be okay until they latch on to a man. I just don't see how. You're going to always have to revert back to calling up on a man, even for those of you who think you're independent. You're going to always have to revert back to call. It's symbolic of how you guys will always have to revert back to calling the mechanic, calling the police, calling the electrician. As much as you guys try to X men out of your lives, look at how your lives are when men aren't in your lives. You're getting trains ran on you. You're going to the farm in Vegas to have sex in front of a lot of strangers with this guy who wanted you to try it. You're getting pumped full of meaningless babies who will then grow up to wreak hell and havoc on society because they're pissed off that you brought them into this world without a father who could tell them how much he loved them and this and that. We don't see much good coming out of this. We don't see much good coming out of it. Look, the other divorced her husband but still holds on to his last name. Listen, we're going to go ahead and get to the bottom of this.
I just found out today that my ex-husband is engaged and I'm unwell.
Yep.
And like, even though, yes, it was me that was like, hi, I want divorce. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. It brings up all these feelings. It brings up all this like stuff. And we have a kid and it brings up all this stuff around him.
So why?
I'm not going to lie and pretend like I'm a perfect human being and I don't understand where a woman could get tempted to see if the grass is greener on the other side, especially seeing how these women have had so much sex. Well, listen, they won't be able to escape the best lovers that they've experienced in their life occasionally popping up in their head. And some of them occasionally see some of them because he lives close to where she works at, things like that. But to really, to realistically execute actions that will jeopardize how your life ending turns out, I don't know what to say about that. That's almost along the lines of the word suicidal. How come we don't understand how come you guys don't think to yourselves, well, before this guy here, I was single for 3 years, sneaky linking and all of that. That was tough time in my life, and I don't want to put myself in a predicament to where I have to go back to that phase. I'm just going to stick with this man. It's like you guys are the living rendition of I want my cake and eat it too. You guys are the living rendition of that. And in most cases, when we as humans try to pull that off, it doesn't really turn out well.
She's upset that her ex-husband got engaged. It's because she now sees another woman that's going to be living her previous life. She's living her previous life that she is now regretting. She is now regretting that she left her husband, and she's seeing another woman just moving into her place. She basically just regrets the divorce. That's what it is.
I wish that I had more people that were like totally honest and like super transparent in really difficult times.
My man just replaced her. It was really that simple. Because all the tears and everything you're seeing in this video is just pure regret. You gave up your life. You initiated the divorce. The guy's like, okay, fine, let's get divorced. A little bit of time later, he replaces her. Her current life is being alone. I'm sure she has a few cats. And now she sees her ex-husband still winning. He's moved on and he's replaced her. And now she has to watch another woman living her dream life. Yikes. I wanted the divorce. How dare he do better than me? Yeah, exactly. Funny how the kid didn't matter when she wanted the divorce, but now all of a sudden she uses it as a token. Yikes. Spoiled children often hate playing with their old toys until they see someone else enjoy it.
What I'm telling you guys is nobody keeps it honest with you guys like they should. There are things that you can do that will X you out of the dating game. And what I mean when I say X you out of the dating game, I'm talking about to where your name isn't one of the suggestions that the universe kicks up anymore when good men are looking for relationships. Your name is actually one of the ones that the universe programs good men to avoid because of all that you've done. A lot of you don't want to admit that I'm telling the truth, but a lot of you are living it right now, where good men aren't knocking on your door. You don't have one. You haven't had one in years. There are things that you can do that will X you out of the dating game. The dating highway will reject your applications. Most men who see you, they will look at you like you're not something that is supposed to be put in a long-term public relationship. I want to pull this up again. This was crazy. Don't do this to me. Say you will. Say you will. Okay, I can't do that. That's not even up there. Hold on. I can't do this. It should. There it goes. This brother commented under one of my things and he said, I knew a mixed girl, more white than black. She told me straight up, I had 4 kids, now I'm X'd out of the game. She was right. You do not have the ability, you no longer have the ability to get men of quality to look at you as anything more than a good time. You have done that much damage to yourself. I will say this, I always want to leave on this note. There are things that you can do to repair your dating damage. Start by not having sex for a very long time, probably about a year. That will change your life. Some of you, if you really want better results, move out of the place where you did most of the damage to your reputation. Move out of that place. You need to remove yourself from the old memories, the stain and the stigmata of all of the things that you've done. You need to remove yourself from the environment that has all of the resources that assisted you in making the bad decisions that you made that destroyed your dating value. It's called a fresh start for a reason. You need to go somewhere where you can feel better about yourself, where you can associate yourself with a different crowd of friends who they themselves have good qualities and things like that that will rub off on you. You need to associate yourself with a new group of friends who will hold you accountable when you're about to do something dumb. Because it's very apparent that the crew of friends that you had for all of those years, they are not suitable to assist you in the times where you need correction from a friend. It's very apparent that these women, not only will they allow you to crash into a brick wall, look at all of them. They've crashed into brick walls. All of them are have multiple children by multiple men. What type of good energy can you get from an individual like that to where their life is on the crash course? Changing your life for the better is an amazing inhale and exhale. It just feels good. It feels good. So I will not tell women that they can't do better. You can increase your dating value. First and foremost, I would highly suggest the first thing that you should tackle is losing your weight. I'll say this in order. Get yourself around good, positive women. And you need a mixture of races because they are going to be able to contaminate you with good feminine attributes, right? Based on how they were raised. Some of their good attributes will leak off onto you just inside of your guys' casual conversation. You need reprogramming. You need a new Apple update because you were updated with a lot of bad information, a lot of bad encouragement to do other bad bullcrap things, and you did those things, and some of the things came back and bit you, and now you're walking around like a human being with a bite missing out of its arm. That bite is representation of the damage that came back and hindered you from the past bad decision that you made. A lot of you have damage on you. If God could allow us to have a literal bite, a chunk, a bite mark taken out of our body for all of the dating damage that has come back upon us, we would see truly how much damage we have done to ourselves. And a lot of you'd be in disbelief. You'd be in disbelief. A lot of you would just merely be teeth that people could see. You wouldn't have any skin. You wouldn't have any bones. Those of you who had trains ran on you. Those of you who have casual sex with men who you just met at the club. Those of you who have already had multiple children by multiple men. Those of you who have gained significant amounts of weight. You would almost like your whole body would be just one complete big bite. You'd be gone. You'd be gone. All right, this is the time where if you have any questions or disagreements with the content, come on up. I'm going to drop a link down in the YouTube for those of you who disagree with the information or you have questions as it pertains to life, lifestyle, dating. Come on up. If you're on TikTok, you can come on up. If you're on Instagram, you can come on up. If you're on YouTube. Listen, shout out to all of the new, my day ones, my stay ones, and the new show subscribers. All right, people, where we are about to get up out of here. Shout out to all of my people for keeping the show going. And we're out of here.
I'll make you famous.
Welcome to Death Row.
I'm your huckleberry.
Never talk to me like that again. You hear me? Huh? Say good night to the bad guy. Say good night to the bad guy.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bang, 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 daddy, bang, 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 daddy, bang. belongs to the streets. She belongs to the streets. Get over here! Track! Track!
Next time you hear grown folks talking, shut the fuck up, yeah?
Can't believe you say no funky shit like that.
You fucking crazy, man. You sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
My doctor has notified me that I'm morbidly obese.
Many have wondered why Satan was played by a woman in the Passion of the Christ.
It's an evil world we live in.
Goodbye.
Get over here!
Oh yeah, no, it's done. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'4",
How much do you weigh?
180.
Goodbye.